Hello there. This is your humble and humbled narrator. Now, the first thing I would like to say is that I'm going to observe the Larry Bird axiom here and make no excuses for my performance. The book was just better than me. It was better on offense. It was better on defense. It played harder. And I just lost. Okay? I mean, I tried my best. I missed words. I missed phrases. I did not connect words in a proper fashion. This is my second audiobook, but Larry Bird would have never made an excuse if this was only my second NBA game. But anyways, rookie though I am, I gave it my best shot. And I would like to say something else is like, I understand uh, that people cry over movies. I've never cried over a movie in my entire life. Not even Million Dollar Baby, which is the most depressing movie I've ever seen. I did not cry over it. There's something about books because you can get inside the head of the characters in a different way. You can get into their thoughts, you can get into their emotions in a different way than a movie, that they affect me more strongly. So uh, I will end this little, I don't know, afterword with me not being able to finish the afterthoughts, the final section of the book, just because I couldn't do it. I couldn't talk. I couldn't get the words out, and because I was just too moved. But I'm scratching my head thinking, like, why would I identify with a character that suffered through alienation, uh, loneliness, abuse, and just decided to alienate himself from the rest of society for decades? It's really a puzzle to me why that would have happened. But anyways, I identify very strongly with the character. And like I said, the first time I read this book was when it was released in 1982, and I was just a teenager. So it's even better than I remembered it because I am not 16 years old anymore. I know a little bit more about life, and I can know a little bit more about pain and can relate to the character in the book in a whole different way than a hopeful 16-year-old. And at the time, I was doing roofing and dancing across the gables of roofs. The gable is the point, the very top of the roof, in case that's a weird word to you. But anyways, another reason for this afterword I'm throwing on here is there's two links that will be in the description. One of them is kind of fluff. It's interesting, but it's fluff. The other one is essential because it has Ted Kazimiroff Sr. and Jr. It has the actual guy in it that had the relationship with Joe Two Trees in 1925. And it also has the son in it, who ended up writing the book in his father's stead. His father told him the story, and then he wrote the book. And it's just a home movie. It looks like it might be from the late 50s, early 60s. And after listening to the book, it should be pretty darn interesting. But it's always funny to watch a home movie because they always have bad narration over them. And even to this day, when people are walking through the streets with a camera phone, there's bad narration over homemade movies. It's just, I guess it's something that will be eternal. But anyways, look for those links in the description. I will put the one that I highly recommend that you watch will be the first one. The second one is about the book and about the area that the book was shot in. It's in color. It's very beautiful to look at, and it has some interesting quotes from the book by somebody who is blessed with a narrator's voice instead of a foghorn voice like mine. So that will be there, and I see no reason to blather on incessantly. I will throw this little piece of audio into Movavi, and I will splice it together with my first attempt at the very last afterthoughts in the book, where I just couldn't make it through. And I mean, there are two movies that affect me emotionally at all, and I didn't cry over either one of them, but the two movies are Open Range and Good Will Hunting. And there's other movies like Million Dollar Baby where I'm like, this is just the most depressing damn thing I've ever seen. But I mean, that really reached me on some kind of emotional, personal level. Good Will Hunting and Open Range. But anyways, so I'm just going to go ahead and tack that on here. And I hope you enjoyed the book and appreciate the book. You know, the ending is very odd to me. If you're listening to this, we could discuss the ending briefly. Where did that guy go? Why couldn't they find him? I don't know. If he was so sick, how could did they alert the authorities? Did they just say, well, we're not going to alert the authorities because nobody's going to believe us anyway, that there is an Indian living within sight of New York City and nobody knows about it? And it's 1920. No, it would be, what year did he die? I don't remember. I can't remember. But it was like probably in the, see, he had the relationship with the kid in 1925. And so that's when he died, 1925. So I'm sure the authorities would be like, just get out of here, you idiots. What are you talking about? There's no Indians around here. Are you crazy? But anyways, that's what the book calls them, Indians. We know that they're Native Americans now, and good Lord, I'm in Cleveland Indians country. They will eventually probably change the name of the team, but they've already done away with Chief Wahoo as of this year. So, that's considered offensive, but I just read a book that said the word Indian about 3,000 times, so I will ask your indulgence on that. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed the book, and I hope to do another one, and I certainly hope I can get better at it. My voice is now going because of my continued insomnia, but damn it, I finished the book. I didn't get it in on time. I said I was gonna put it out within a week. It's now Monday morning at 3:15. The reason why I didn't get it in on time is I found a picture that I added to it that it was a corrupted. They referred to it as a corrupted file, so I had to redo a whole part, or I would have got it on time, like I said I would. So it's those doggone vandals and weirdos on the internet that put viruses and things. It's their fault, by golly. But without further ado, here's me coming pretty damn close to crying. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Goodbye. John Milton, the blind poet, said that a book is the blood of an idea, preserved and embalmed, to be handed up from age to age, throughout all time. I hope you have found this to be such a book. What is it, after all these pages, is still missing? Everyone loves a story that has a happy ending. I haven't given you that in the story of Joe Two Trees. The picture of a human being voluntarily divorcing himself from all others and existing as a misanthrope for nearly 60 years is quite another ending. But is this the story's end? I sincerely hope not, for then this book will have been written in vain. If you, the reader, will take time to tell this story to your children, perhaps it will have a happy ending. In his telling, Two Trees asked no more of my father than that he remember and retell these exploits. And that way, believe Joe, he would never be completely gone from the trails and trees of his beloved land. When you go to the quiet places that still remain within our steel and stone city, it is just possible that you could meet him. I know you won't see him as a person, but the V of Canada geese obeying their ancient migratory imperative, or the furtive glance of a raccoon, the blaze of a glorious sunset, one of these or all will be Joe. Don't lose him. When we allow the new to replace the old to such an extent, we will lose more than an ancient Indian story.